Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Friday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And before we jump in, if you are in need of a VPN, maybe you're watching my privacy series of videos hitting on Sundays and you're like, I think I really want a VPN at this point in time, definitely check out Private Internet Access. They do all of the ad blocking stuff that you have. These ones are an American company, so if you like that, if you don't like that, check out my all affiliates page. You can find NordVPN that is outside of America. I recommend those two VPNs. But regardless, you can jump onto Private Internet Access, and for $40, $39.95, you can get an entire year access, which is a great deal. And this will allow you to support anything from plugging it into certain custom routers to have VPN on select computers to up to 5 devices on individual devices. So you can put one on your phone, put one on your laptop when you're out and about. So you can do that. So take a look at the affiliate link in the description below. And let's go ahead and jump on into our privacy news. So first up, Google defends tracking cookies, but some experts aren't buying it. Interesting. So, of course, the concept of tracking cookies, these kind of started early on with Netscape Navigator to save browser settings. And then, of course, one of the earlier applications is used to save your settings for when you wanted to order pizza online. The first, some of the earlier things, and the first thing ever bought on the internet was a CD by, was it Sting, I believe? And, but Pizza Hut was also in that first year, 1994. You could buy a pizza online. And Pizza Hut used the tracking cookies in order to store your preferences, address, and phone number, so every time you went back to the website, you didn't have to keep entering that information. The problem is now with tracking cookies is they send data back and forth, and websites can use, and organizations, digital trackers, they can use this information to track where you go, what websites are coming from, what websites are going to, and they can track and collect probably more information than they should be able to. And so this is causing some groups like Apple and Mozilla to say, we need to do something about it, and they're trying to implement a lot of features to block all of these tracking cookies by default. But Google's going, hey guys, slow down. There's a way we can do this without blocking all these cookies, because of course they have a lot of money on the hand with this. But the reality is their argument isn't all that great. So let me explain what they're trying to do first. So they wanted to do, instead of blocking cookies, they wanted to use this privacy sandbox system, still allowing all the tracking cookies, but then they're sidestepping and talking about using fingerprinting. I've talked about fingerprinting before. This is why I have a serious concern with Ubuntu collecting all of this data when you install it, because the fingerprint can de-anonymize you. This is how companies, and one of the ways that companies can determine are you really the same person, by fingerprinting your devices. What Google is proposing is a plan to have a cap on how much data can be passed on in that fingerprint. But Mozilla and Safari are both saying, yeah, we do that too. We just want there to be some privacy. Google is pushing back because they've perceived that the targeted ads will not be as good, which they won't be. But guys, that's perfectly fine. I hate targeted ads. I don't run targeted ads on my things. I run generic ads that are relevant to the content. If you're on my Switch to Linux website, there's some Google ads on there. And when you go over there, it's not tracking that type of data. It's not giving you personalized ads. It's giving ads related to the content. If you're on a Linux website, shocking, you might be interested in Linuxy or technology type things, so that's the type of ads you will see. And so they don't really hurt themselves as much. They just want to be able to track it, and this is an argument that they make. Don't buy into it. Block them tracking cookies. Block them bad boys up, eat them all up, and don't these look like some wonderful... Actually, they look a little overcooked. I was going to say those cookies look wonderful, but they definitely look overcooked. But regardless, that's what Google is up to. Mozilla and Firefox saying, yeah, we want to block fingerprinting and cookies. Google's just like, no, leave the cookies alone, man. Let's just cap some of the fingerprinting. And Google's not really making a lot of sense in this argument. Of course, they didn't make a lot of sense in this one either. Well, maybe they did. The FBI ordered a Google location dragnet to solve a Wisconsin bank robbery. So all of their leads ran dry. Two guys walk into a bank. They robbed the place. It was a getaway car. All their leads run dry, so they petition the judge and get a reverse location search warrant. So this means that they said to Google, hey, give us all of the people who were within 100 feet of this bank for this 30-minute block of time. Honestly, that gets too much data, and it's very apparent that no update has been made since then, so they probably didn't get their information. I mean, what if the people used iPhones? What if people did not use location service tracking? What if the people left their phones at home? What if the people knew that that was an option and Faraday caged their device so it wouldn't be transmitting data one way or the other? So basically now, involved in this bank robbery, a whole lot of people have now been brought up front as being potential suspects simply because they walked within the vicinity of a bank during this half-an-hour period of time. And it's pretty clear that the actual people who did this were not caught up in that dragnet, but the rest of us were. This is one of these dangers with having all of this data out there. If the company doesn't have the data at all, they can't get it. And so this is a little leery, and I'm with people that this is a bad idea. We should not be allowed to do this, especially since in many instances this was actually ruled as unconstitutional. So whatever. Well, more people wanting our privacy. How about Yelp? This is from Yelp's official blog. The Yelp app, you can now give them all of this lifestyle and diet and other interest information, and they will customize your data. Of course, they will not share it with any third parties. We believe them. Even if we do believe them, still sharing that data with Yelp itself is a problematic thing. But the idea here is their new app design. You can go into it and you can set all these different things. So, for example, if you're a gluten-free pet owner who likes hiking and brunch, you'll see a different screen than a vegetarian parent who loves donuts and farmers markets. A vegetarian parent who loves donuts. Really? I mean, technically you can, but a lot of people go into vegetarian diet for the health aspects. I have a hard time believing a vegetarian donut owner. Now, vegan is a different thing because usually vegan is a philosophy about not wanting to be cruel to the animals. A vegan who likes donuts is definitely different. I buy that. A vegetarian who likes donuts, I'm having a hard time buying this, Yelp. I mean, really. But regardless, you can get in here and customize your Yelp screen. This poses a few fascinating things to think about. One of these is that this opens up the door for a restaurant or an establishment to not be showing up in somebody's list because Yelp determines they don't match your preference. Versus the old way, hey, it's in the area, here's the thing. Now, I wouldn't recommend using Yelp. I wouldn't recommend having an account with them. I certainly wouldn't recommend using their app, and I would not recommend using your location services. So all of these things being said, not a good idea. But if you are using Yelp, you can now give all of this personal data to Yelp, so now they know a lot more information about you, and you can use this to personalize your Yelp experience. If it stays exclusively on your phone, maybe, I mean, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that one personally. So that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. On to tracking data and information, Tesla is rolling out insurance. Of course, they rolled out their insurance program, and then they had a lot of serious problems, and I think their site might be back up now. They launched a site, and then they had to take it down a day later, and it may or may not be back up. So basically, they're saying, like any of these insurance companies are giving you these little black boxes to track your GPS location data and your gyroscopes for all this. See, here's one of the problems with a Tesla car is they track everything. Everything. You cannot get away from the tracking. That means that Tesla on their servers knows when you drive, how fast you drive, where you drive, how you drive, all of this information. So they're using this stuff to feed into an insurance algorithm, which will allegedly designed to give you rates up to 20% lower, in some cases as much as 30. They never tell you what happens if you drive like a raving lunatic, or maybe turn on Tesla's Mad Max mode. My lands people, Tesla, they're like going crazy here. They're going crazy. They're collecting every bit of data, everything about where you're driving, how you're driving, all of this stuff. They're feeding it into insurance algorithms. This is too much information, people. Too much information. Don't get those little black boxes, and don't let your car tell Tesla how much you're driving, how you're driving, where you're driving, and how you drive, so that they can use that information. Because here's the golden rule of the insurance company. Any data they have can and will be used against you to cause them to save money. The entire idea of insurance company is to make money off of you. They're going to find a way to make money. Don't buy Tesla's insurance. Go get some independent insurance that's not going to ask to put a black box in your car. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, what's going on with Palantir? So this is one of these ones that just makes me go, oh, you've totally missed the boat. So Palantir was forced out of a job fair after outcry over ICE contracts. So this is an LGBT tech organization, and several organizations have bought their way into this. Google, Oculus, Verizon, and Palantir was in there. And after some outrage from the LGBT community, the Palantir was removed from the charter and their check was refunded, and very quietly they no longer are as listed as a sponsor and now are excluded from this individual tech meetup. Now, here's the thing that makes my mind go, what are you people thinking? They're all caught up about the fact that Palantir has ICE contracts and is tracking undocumented immigrants, aka illegal immigrants. They are in this country illegally. They are violating the laws of our nation by the mere fact that they're here. This organization cares a whole lot more that Palantir is tracking undocumented immigrants, illegal people, than they are tracking everybody else in the country. Everybody else in the country. Guys, Palantir is an organization that is based on the all-seeing eye, collecting every bit of data from everyone and everywhere to produce a master database of everything about a person to be used by law enforcement. And they've used it in cities against citizens. This organization, they don't care about that. Oh, you can destroy the citizens. You can spy on their privacy. How dare you mess with the people here illegally, taking our resources, taking our tax dollars. Guys, America is in tragic circumstances right now. We cannot sit down and love the people of the rest of the world as well as we love ourselves right now. We do not have the resources for the entire state of Wyoming to be coming into our country every single month. And you're throwing a fit that we're tracking them and not tracking us. Really? Wow. That's a rant probably irritated a lot of you guys, so let me know what you think in the comments down below.